is you see kind of like if it's something, like you look over and she's like, wow, I think that guy's good looking, and you say to her, okay, well, like, what is it about him that you like?
Mm.
Hopefully in your case it's not like, oh, he's really tall, because there's not much you can do about that. But if he's like, if you can see he's like well groomed and stuff, then you can look at yourself and be like, oh well, so she likes that,
She's
like
got a
maybe
beard.
I need to, yeah, maybe I need to like put some oil in the beard or something like that. I think, okay, and this lovely people, the Big Vibe listeners, the viewers, everybody that tunes in, welcome back. We're back. As Tev just said, just before we started recording, we find these episodes like nice little breaks for us in the day,
Mm.
to spend this time with you guys, coming up with content. We're loving what we're doing, and we hope you guys are too. Normally, when I watch these videos, it's funny, or hear these things on podcasts, people ask for likes and subscribes in the beginning. And I was thinking today, I'm like, you can't ask until the content is made, right?
Exactly.
So if you do want to like it before you even know what we're talking about, that's cool. But yeah, we hopefully will remember to remind you. Today we've got some cool things coming up. First of all, we're going to be discussing some unconventional relationship advice that
Mm.
I have stumbled across. Yeah, Tev and I will discuss whether or not we think it is unconventional, and why maybe people feel that they should use these things. After that, we're going to talk through some unpopular football opinions that
Mm.
we've
Many of
also
those.
seen. Yeah, and before that, we'll caveat into a cool little story where Tev can flex a pitch side experience for us all. Looking forward to hearing about that. And then we will end off as usual with one of our wholesome moments. So let's hop right into it. So I found this article and I think it's really, really interesting. So what we're gonna do, Tev, is I'm gonna read the unconventional advice to you,
Mm.
and you're gonna tell me maybe if you think it would work for you or how you kind of feel about the advice, and we can kind of work through it like that. So the first one,
Perfect.
in terms of this unconventional relationship advice, is we don't deal with each other's families. We each attend family functions solo. A lot of times, this means we spend holidays apart, which is fine by us since we're not religious. Big families equal big drama. This rule takes a ton of stress out of the relationship.
Ooh.
Vibing?
Ooh. For me personally, nah, I can't. I can't. But I can see the use for it. I think families generally. I think what I also came to understand with families is that when you get married, it's two distinct families, two distinct ways of working, communicating, operating, and it's it takes time to get an understanding of each side,
Mm,
so that you can play to each other's strengths, so that you have an understanding of what works. Maybe it's something that you didn't necessarily do in your family that your partner's family does, and vice versa. And it's
yeah,
very interesting to see how that plays out. For me personally, I like family gatherings. I just like
yeah, yeah,
any opportunity for everyone to be together in a space. So I'd say not for me personally, but I do see there is logic behind that. So if it's
yeah,
not working out, this is a good option. Everyone, I think, yeah, once discussed, it just makes sense for everyone to
yeah,
live in their silos. I'd say your
yeah,
family silos, but then together, yeah, you have something going there together. I think it becomes a little tricky um, when there are events. So say it's your kid's birthday as an example. Do you then
yes,
invite one side of the family? Do you invite no family? Do you just have your own thing? Like, I'd be curious.
yeah.
What about you?
I'm kind of the opinion. I'm also big on like I like the family events, and I think these events, when you see your partner with their family, give us insights into who they are as people as well. I think it's quite an important thing. Although, I mean, I'm not gonna give too many details, but there's been times where it feels like you get caught between your loved one and your family, and it's a tricky position to be in. But I feel like saying like, "Oh, no more family events" is like an easy cop out. So I don't really like it.
Mm,
I think it depends also pretty much on your view on marriage, how long you okay, assuming that you're married. When you're married, right, it's the whole thing about two families coming into one and etc. etc. So I kind of feel like it's relatively important. So I don't think I could go with that one. But okay, here's one. I quite like
Hmm.
this, but I want to hear what you think. Okay.
Okay.
We make comments to each other when we see very good looking people when we're out. I appreciate the truthfulness when you see a beautiful woman, a lady with nice curves, or a man that is incredibly handsome. We look, but don't touch. I have no problem with my husband looking at women and making comments to me. If he were to act on it or flirt, that would be a different story.
Sure. I think that goes to show, or it gives a good indication of the level of trust and comfort in the relationship. I find Lisa and I are quite straightforward and open with that kind of thing. We'd be like, oh, so let's say we're watching a movie and it's like, uh, fine, Jason Momoa as an example. We'd be like, what's your type, eh? What do you think of him? Is he your vibe? Look, so if I wasn't here, would he be your vibe? If you saw Jason Momoa walking through the street right now, would you be like, hello, would you go and introduce yourself and look to make nice there?
But
Um,
but but isn't it different if it's like people that you see? Like Jason Momoa is different. You know, we're not
mm,
seeing her, but like
like
if you're
a
walking in the
commoner.
mall and she just looks and she's like, "Oh damn, he's fine," or like, "Wow, how, where you going? How you gonna feel about that?"
I think a good caveat or response after that is, oh, she's nice, but she's not better than you. There's no one that comes close.
Uh,
Everyone can be beautiful, everyone can be handsome, but
yeah,
no one trumps my wife. No one
yeah.
trumps my wife.
I think I think the danger with this kind of thing is like I'm not saying like you must hide it or
Oh,
anything, but it's also about like sometimes when I read like things like this, I'm kind of like you also need to wonder like how does this conversation happen?
come
Like
about.
does it ever turn into like, oh, do you think she's pretty or do you think he's good looking? Like does it ever become like that? Or also like in what context you're sitting at a restaurant and you're like hey babes, like check that girl over there. Like I don't really understand the context of how this thing happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did read a actually like a like I guess it was like an intimacy guide kind of thing, like an
Okay.
advice like to improve intimacy. And one of the things that they suggested in this thing was that you have a discussion with your loved one about like it famous people specifically that you find attractive.
Mm.
Um, so it's like actually increases your intimacy with your partner if you discuss like if you have that conversation because you know at the end of the day we are human beings and just because you're with your wife or husband doesn't mean that you all of a sudden don't find other people attractive, right? So I find it interesting. I just wonder what context like this kind of
It's brought up.
conversation,
Probably
yeah,
like,
like it
I'm assuming like people are people watching. So let's say you're having a meal at a restaurant and then you just glance over thinking that the waiter's bringing your food, but it's not your food. So you already have your eyes in the distance and then you see a couple and you're like, okay, sure, handsome dude, eh?
okay,
And then I think
maybe.
that's generally the context. If it's not, and it's something that's almost like um premeditated, then yeah,
Yeah,
we have some issues.
I
How
guess
about
also
you
what
though?
helps in that case is you see kind of like if it's something you know like you look over and she's like wow I think that guy's good looking and you say to her okay well like what is it about him that you like,
Hmm.
hopefully in your case it's not like oh he's really tall because there's not much you can do about that, but if he's like if you can see he's like well groomed and stuff then it can then you can look at yourself and be like oh well so she likes that, you know,
It's got a
like
beard.
maybe I need to yeah maybe I need to like put some oil in the beard or something like that, you know. I think okay, and this next one is quite cool because it kind of follows into that. So let's say this
Mm.
conversation goes wrong.
Okay.
This next person's advice is we argue and have tough conversations by text. It makes us slow down and respond without the blurt and cringe exclamations of frustration in our early relationship. It also helps keep us accountable for agreements we come to or boundaries we set because there is always proof. We argue less often and much more constructively when we do. It's us against the problem, not us against each other. So essentially, they argue via text
I think
only.
a lot is lost in that. So conversation arguments need to be very honest, as difficult as they can be, and we all have arguments. And I think, for me, I think it's always important, and I think it was Simon Sinek that I saw talk about this, about having a gap or a breather in between incidents and then the dialogue or the conversation thereafter. So you'd have a fight, blow up, you guys are hot-headed and everyone wants to go at each other's necks, take like a 5-minute breather. Cool. And then we speak about this amicably. So now we talk through the points and be like, you know what you did
Yeah.
really upset me because you overlooked X, Y, and Z, and it made me feel like this. And I
Yeah.
can then take that into consideration, be like, okay, cool, I hear you. And then either present my side of the story or simply understand the context or the reason and I guess point that my wife was looking to make. But
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a definite pause or break in between when the incident happens and then discussing it, because I
Do
think
you
a lot
do you do that?
we do it.
You do. Okay.
I think it's something that's been worked at. I think we can get upset, and it's easy just to spark and throw out the first word that comes to
Yeah.
mind, or
Yeah.
have yourself get lost in the emotion, and it's silly because there's nothing that gets resolved from that. You don't gain anything from that. I'm not going to
Yeah.
get perspective when you're lashing out at me. If you're throwing F bombs at me, then I'm not going to take in anything you're saying, really. So
Yeah.
I think a pause.
Okay.
What works for you
Yeah.
guys?
Um Similar. I can't say we always manage to do the pause thing because sometimes, you just get caught up a bit in the
Mm,
moment. But the texting wouldn't work for me. I find it's just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good at texting, but I refuse to believe that all kind of nuances. I think as a language kind of person, I think you lose a lot in
mm,
texting. So for me, that wouldn't really work. The pause thing is good. Maybe it's something I need to try a bit more often because I do find like after a few minutes, once even if you're busy arguing, after a few minutes, you kind of like once you start calming down, then it really the argument actually becomes a lot easier to have because you
mm,
become a lot more level headed. But I mean, we set up a rule right in the beginning of the relationship. Like one of the things is when we fight, like don't you don't swear at me, like don't speak to me in any way, like even if you're angry and you're upset and you lash out at me, don't insult me. Like that's what I said, like don't swear at me specifically,
mm.
because there's no need for that at all, and that has actually helped a lot because it really
Yeah.
keeps us in check with one another. And as a result, we actually don't even curse when we are fighting. Like we don't actually say this is effing unbelievable. Like we don't
Yeah.
really, and that actually takes a lot of sting out of what we say. So yeah, I think I agree. I like the cool down. I like the cool down idea. Here's another way of dealing with an argument. My sister and her husband have a rule that they only fight when they are both naked. If an issue gets heated, they have to strip down and argue.
Nothing's being resolved there. Oh, the argument's done. It's finished. It's done. There's no ways. That is very unconventional. I don't think. Well,
Yeah.
it's one way to resolve a conversation or an argument because there just won't be any.
I
Um,
think I think the idea is like you kind of ex- you I don't know, become more conscious. I don't know what the thinking is like because I don't always think it necessarily results in like sex. Like
mm.
if you're upset and you need, I don't see the points of it to be honest. Like
It
it's a
sure,
bit.
the walls come straight down though, but I don't see how I'm then in a good space. Like
You
yeah,
just imagine staying there naked, like
it's like
what's up?
and then so what's your point? I don't
Nah,
see
I
anything
don't see
coming
that
from that.
one.
That's
I don't
very
see that one.
unconventional.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. I this actually when I read this, I thought this is exactly what we do as well. We always cook dinner together. Sometimes one person cooks while
Oh,
the other keeps them company in the kitchen. Most of the time it's a joint effort. If one person isn't feeling well or had a hard day, we'll ask the other person, "Do you care if I sit on the couch while you cook?" This is more to be respectful than to get permission. It's something that just happened over time in our relationship, but now it's an unwritten rule. We have the same thing. We always cook together. How about you?
very nice. Yeah, more often than not. So one will do prep work, the other one do the cooking, and if one of us is cooking, the other
Dishes.
one will do dishes. And
Yeah.
we often cook. We're trying to get into the habit of doing the meal prep, like on a weekend, like a Sunday, and you have that cooked for
Yeah.
the week. But more often than not, we'll do it after both of us come home from work, and then it's also time for us to just debrief on the day, see
Yeah.
exactly how each other's day
Yeah.
went, and it's just a nice bit of uninterrupted quality time. Like
Yeah.
no phones, no emails, nothing that's coming from work. I can literally just be in a
Yeah.
really
I like that.
relaxed frame.
I like that. Yeah, we
You
do
know.
that as well. We have again, it is also unspoken on our side. We just do it together because that's just what we do,
It
you
works for
know?
you guys, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um Here's another one that I've seen quite a lot. You've heard of it happening. I don't really know how you feel about it, but I'm very introverted, so alone time is very important to me. My boyfriend is an extrovert, so seeing his friends is really important. Often on Friday nights, he goes to see some friends, and I stay at home enjoying my alone time. Some people said our relationship wouldn't last because I like him going out to see his friends without me, but this just works very well for us. No
Trust and
problem?
communication, man. I don't
Yeah.
see too many issues there. I think it's playing to each other's strengths. I think we all suffer from some social battery depletion every now and again, and that's not to say that it's anything against your partner. You can just want a quick, um, I guess, breather would be the word.
Yeah.
But it's that
Yeah.
understanding that it's not something that's just thrown on their lap. It's something that's
Yeah.
been discussed, and it's some insight as to why you want to do what you want to do.
Yeah, I quite like that. Also, understanding like what the other person is and what they do,
Mm,
like what they thrive off and who they are as a person. It's
yeah.
really cool. Yeah. I don't think like you need to suffer or you need to change your, what do you call it, vertedness, like introverted or extroverted. You don't need to change who you are to
Inverted.
to match the person that you're with. This one's quite cute, and maybe it's something that we should try. Although I don't know if I could do it. But anyway, when we've had a bad day or have fought a lot, no matter how angry we are at each other, we force ourselves to sit down together for a midnight snack. I go to the kitchen and make a snack and hot drinks, so it already gives us 10-15 minutes to calm down. Then I make him come to the table. We eat, drink, discuss why we argued, and find a solution. It's hard to stay angry when you're sharing homemade chocolate pudding and a vanilla latte. It isn't always me who makes the first step. Either he or I will interrupt the argument with "On fait une collation." I guess it's French. Can we do a snack? I'm just the one who actually makes the snack because my kitchen is off limits, which is weird that she said that.
Oh,
But so midnight snack to sort things out.
I like it. I like the idea. I think I might take that one on, try that. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, it's realizing that I think general resolution from argument is that your partner is your person. You've got them until the
yeah,
end, till the wheels come off, and it's just that reminder, like we can move past this, man. This is
yeah,
a drop in the ocean in comparison to the the life that we're living, and what's this to get us down? So a
yeah.
midnight snack is a great olive branch, which
And
to
it also takes you back to like when you were kids. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a
mm,
nice playful thing together to do
yeah.
together. I mean, I don't know how I feel about waking up in the middle. I mean, maybe if you're away. I'm
That
talking
could
because
cause some
I go to
arguments itself.
but I go to bed at like 9 o'clock. So like, you know, maybe I'm not the right person to think about this, but it's quite sweet advice.
Yeah.
Here's one that I don't really think I could do. But yeah, uh, don't share anything just because you're supposed to. We hardly ever cooked together before we had kids. We each just ate what we liked. We still buy groceries separately. I mean, we share pasta or butter, but we like different cheese, different coffee, different milk, etc. So instead of discussing grocery shopping, we just buy things we want.
Mm, mm, mm.
Nah.
Maybe it's the African boy in me that I'm like, bro, that's such a loss. That's such wastage. Are you gonna buy
Yeah.
cheese? Cool, I'll have cheese. What's your favorite cheese? The one that I can put on bread and something that I can toast.
The
Cool,
one you
I'm
buy.
great.
The one you buy
Exactly,
is
I'm
my
not paying
favorite.
for.
Nah, I also
Nah, I,
don't.
I I love for convenience, man, and especially in a household. I think maybe it's like a personality thing. Maybe it's a type A personality that needs things in their particular structure or framework in order for them to both thrive. So good luck to
But also,
the
like,
those
for me,
people. But
there's like, there's supposed to be a togetherness, like about
mm,
eating and doing that kind of stuff, you know. So, like for example, like I now have recently been going for acupuncture. And what the doctor said to me is that you get like yin and yang foods, right? Heating and cooling foods. Like for
Okay.
example, like tomato, I mean like cucumber and watermelon and that kind of stuff are cooling foods.
Mm.
And because of something, like I have like a knee injury and stuff, they kind of said like you should try change your diets and not include these yin foods in your diets as much. You need more heating foods.
Sure.
And like Katya was like, cool, like let's do it. So we did it, like we changed our diets and we do it together. It makes it so much easier. Like if you're not eating together and your partner's trying not to eat, I don't know, chocolates or burgers or whatever, and you just there like, SARS, bruh,
Chowing,
like
boy.
just
Ah, it
watch,
is.
we don't eat the same thing. It's not on.
That's bad.
Here's
That's a weird.
I don't like it. Here's another one that I've seen a few times. I want to get your input. My husband and I agree that short of maybe one or two childhood friends of the opposite sex, there is absolutely no making new or hanging out with friends of the opposite sex.
Ooh, contentious.
Yeah.
I think I've come to find that generally I have enough trust and belief in my wife that I know, because she's a very feeling person. You've met her. She's
Yeah.
really someone that you can easily just spark conversations and become friends with in the night. And I've seen that for her, she's had quite a few gents as friends. And likewise, she's seen that I have quite a few female friends that are quite close to me. And I think getting the experience to see your partner with these friends just
Yeah.
helps things completely. It doesn't feel like you're hiding anything. So I think that transparency and having seen yourself and your partner in spaces with your friends, with these
Yeah. But
of the
so
opposite sex. So,
does she have like new guy friends that she's made?
hmm,
And then does she hang out like after work with them?
like there'll be like yeah, like work socials, which you'd hang
Yeah,
out
but
with,
like it's kind of like everyone together, right?
mm,
Like
or
not
like
just one
or
on
like
one,
one or two. Yeah, I think
like of
one.
a close group of friends that are
Yeah,
like okay,
exactly.
because it's similar. So like obviously being in the teaching profession, a lot of teachers are female. So
Mm,
naturally, what happens is you end up making friends with like I ended up making friends with a lot of more females. But
yeah,
I do kind of find like you also kind of draw a line. It's not like like I'm going to a movie. I mean, I
with
don't
my
really go to movie
colleague.
with my gen friends
Yeah,
anyway, so that's like, but like, I'm just going out for dinner with this one colleague. That's kind of like
but
out. But
sus.
if it's like
Mm,
there's like five of us are going out, like me, another gent, and three of the women that are in our department, that's a bit
yeah,
different. But if it's just like the two of us are just blooming together going for a dinner, that's a little
that's a
bit
bit sus. Yeah, context, man. Where you going?
it
I'm
is,
not.
yeah.
I'm not gonna draw out a list of bullet points like where you going, who you seeing, what time. You don't need all that information. You just need to know context of setting. Like set. There we
But
go.
also
Setting is.
she wouldn't like Lisa wouldn't be like, I'm going to the
Mm,
movies with this guy because you kind of like,
exactly. You're not
are you though? Are
doff.
you really? Are you sure you're going? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't
Yeah.
do that. Like, also you read the
Exactly.
room and you read the, and she wouldn't want to put herself in that situation because it's
Exactly.
awkward for her as well.
Mm,
So I
exactly.
think having a thing of like no opposite sex friends is a bit
It was
much.
extreme,
It's
man.
like, yeah, but that it is what it is. Okay, so here's a good one that I wanted to ask
Mm,
you. I wanted to see what you do. So we don't really have date nights. We do sometimes go out purposefully, just the two of us, but not regularly. Most of our hanging out together happens while we're living life, grocery shopping, going to the DMV, doing laundry at the laundromat, shopping at Walmart. We enjoy each other throughout the mundane parts of life and make them fun. He's my best friend, and we have a good time no matter what we're doing or where we are. So, like, just in general, like, they say no date nights.
I'm gonna say the opposite. Like
Uh,
I get I love doing everything with my best friend. I go out for a random grocery shop. I go and stand in a queue for something. Like it be something stupid. Like I get something off Facebook Marketplace. Cool, let's just go. It's right around the corner, and it's not buying it from someone that's intimidating or looks suspicious or anything like that. So it'd be a very rudimentary task, and it'll be nice
Yeah.
just to have the company. But I think a date night is a good reminder to also um, have that mindset and the vision or the understanding rather that you are still my intimate partner. So
Yeah.
in reminding each other that you are my best friend, but you're also my lover. You're also
Yeah.
my partner, and understanding that so that you never get instances where you, I guess, become too
Feel taken for
comfortable.
granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're just a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I,
Exactly.
I agree. I agree doing the mundane things. I
Mm.
don't think it has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't think it means because I think that we should go on dates like whatever it is, if you agree on once a month or twice a month, whatever it is, just because that's an agreement in your relationship doesn't mean I don't enjoy doing the mundane things with my partner.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be one or the other, but I do think it is important that you take the time, especially like for us as expats where, you know, a lot of our lives become it's different when you're at home and you're trying to
Yeah.
like maneuver through seeing family and stuff. So you actually get quite busy with that. But like when you're an expat and you really just become so immersed in each other's lives,
Yeah.
it's important that you make that person feel really, really loved and cared about in to you.
Exactly.
Um, so the last one I wanted to go through was they say it's a de-escalation rule.
Oh,
So
okay.
what it is
Decent.
a de-escalation rule we have is to start whispering when our arguments get too intense. Neither of us can take ourselves seriously when we intensely whisper. We can't help but laugh, and we continue our heated discussion in a more loving way. I think that's quite
Very, very
sweet.
interesting approach. I think I'll give that a try. I
Yeah.
think,
Just
yeah,
like mention
you'll
it
just
and
break out laughing, man, because no one can be taken seriously. And I think people have said this, is that sometimes it's hard to hear me because it can sound like mumbling sometimes when I'm either in a mood or, yeah, sometimes in just general conversation. So
Okay.
the whisper is something that will help.
Who told you you mumbling, Tev?
Everyone. Those that haven't told me, maybe those are the suspicious ones that I need to keep eyes at.
Hey,
'Cause
what's wrong, bro? You mumbling again? Cool, man. So
yo.
those are some of the unconventional relationship advices. Now we're gonna move into our unpopular football opinions. But
Ah.
Tev, tell us a little bit about what you did on Monday night.
Oof. Oof. So, here in the UK, Monday was the final day in the EFL Championship. So that's for everyone that doesn't watch English football, it's the second tier of English football. So you get the Premier League and then you get the Championship, League One, League Two. So the second tier, and it was their final day of games before the end of season. And this man over here behind me, the incredible Lyle Foster. I have so many. There aren't enough superlatives to describe this guy and the just genuine character that he is. And we got to spend the day with him. So went to go and
Nice.
see Burnley play Cardiff City at
Okay.
Turf Moor, and we met his parents and we hung out with his parents at in one of the boxes. So that was the first experience for myself and
Nice.
Lisa. Amazing, really, really nice. You arrive there. There's like food, like a buffet.
Nice food.
So nice food. There was lots of finger foods. So
Don't
imagine
say fish and
it's the
chips and
UK,
beans
so
on
you know
toast.
there's sausages, sausages
Okay.
somewhere, fries. That I think it was like calamari, and then pizza
Okay.
slices and things like that. It was
Nice. Okay.
really nice. The game itself as well, big win, and this
3-0.
was
Yeah.
exactly, and this was the occasion where they'd lift the trophy. So because they'd won the
Yeah.
league, I
Sick.
think with like 7 games to go or something like that. This was the official presentation for the fans in front of the fans.
Okay.
So it was
Okay.
such an unbelievable experience, and because Lyle is the guy he is, man, he invited us on the field as well.
That's
So
so
post
sick.
the game, we got to see the celebration and the lifting of the trophy. But post that, he called he obviously had his family there, and he didn't just call his family, but myself and Lisa were also
Oh, that's
included and
nice, man.
welcomed on the field. And yo, man, it's like being a kid again. People that you see
Yeah.
on TV are walking right before
Man,
you. I
I
mean, I got
saw
the
you got the
yeah, the
picture with
opportunity to
the
meet
video
the
with
VK
Vincent
captain, my
Company. Oh
captain.
wow.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I was
That's
taken
cool,
aback,
man.
man. It's like, yo, man, this guy that I'd seen him play before when he did the Vodacom challenge back in South Africa
Uh
against Chiefs, but to see him like here in front of me,
he's a
shake
big
hands with
dude,
the
bro.
guy.
When I saw you
Yo,
guys in that
that guy's
picture, they
nuts. I
couldn't
was
fit
like,
both of you.
hello. So, yo, unforgettable experience. I can just say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so honored
Can I
and
ask? I want to ask you a
grateful.
question. When you shook hands with Vincent Company, how did he feel? Did he feel like it was just like kind of uh, did it feel like it's something that he wanted to do in that moment? If you get what I'm asking.
Like he wasn't like forced to do almost
Yeah.
fan PR for lack
Yes.
of a
Yeah.
better phrase. He was like, no, he's a genuine guy. Like he's
Okay.
keen on meeting people. I think that's what I
Okay.
found strange because what am I to him? I'm just
Yes. You're just
a
some guy.
stranger.
Like,
I'm
why are
just
you
a
on the
dude. Like
field?
exactly. And no, it was really really nice about it. A lot of the players actually. So we managed to meet Manuel Benson, Ashley Barnes. Very nice. Very nice. Liverpool fans look
Okay.
away now. Very nice guy. Such humble people. I think both Lyle and the team, there's a very family driven nature about Burnley. It's very
Okay.
homely as a club, and yo, man, that was exceptional. I think.
That's really cool, man. And I think it's good. Big ups to them that they're coming through to the Premier League. And I see Vincent Company just signed a 5-year deal at Burnley. I think it
Mm,
was a very good move on his part. If you think about it, like often a young and up and coming coach like that will get snatched up by another team and they'll move too early. So I think he's being very, very thoughtful in committing to Burnley. I think it's very clever of him. And yeah, just for some context for the listeners, Tev has he's just been a fan of Lyle's. He went to a few games once or twice. If you look in the picture behind him, he's holding a flag there. Lyle Foster obviously noticed it and came to talk to them. And slowly but surely, Tev managed to build a bit of an organic friendship with the guy. And from what it sounds like, he is an incredibly generous, humble, and
sure.
friendly professional. So
Such a
big
humble
ups
guy,
to
man.
Lyle. Good luck in the
Mm.
Prem, cuz. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
a really cool story. If you guys
Mm.
haven't seen, I don't know if Tev, did you post? I know Lisa posted, but I don't know if you posted anything.
I'm still getting a reel together there. I'll put together.
Okay.
But
Okay.
then I'll
Nah,
share. But I'll
sick,
share.
sick.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, so I thought that was a cool little caveat into our unpopular football opinions.
Mm.
Okay, so the first one, and let's just discuss them a little bit. The first one, Griezmann is the most important player for the French national team.
I think you actually might have a point there. I was gonna say Kante, obviously, because he's like 7 players in one. But if you look at France's success, both in Euros progression, like towards
Yeah,
the final, as well as World Cups, he
yeah,
delivers, man. He delivers.
yeah.
And
He's more important than Mbappe.
okay, last World Cup, if you're taking the last World Cup on its own, it's
Yeah.
Mbappe. But I think
Okay.
throughout the years, you have to say Griezmann is up there. To say
I would
Griezmann.
say another one who's up there actually is Giroud. I know a lot of people argue with me, but firstly, he's their all-time top goal scorer, which I don't think a lot of people like realized was happening. Everyone's like,
Take very
"Oh,
lightly.
Benzema, Benzema," but Giroud does a lot for that team, and the way he plays opens up that team so much. But yeah, I think Griezmann is a very good shout. Okay, here's one, and I want to hear your opinion on this one. Any decent professional striker can do what Haaland is doing for Man City this season. I say rubbish. I disagree, but let's hear what you think.
Ah, there was some a bit of truth that I found in it, but I think it's worked on. It's something that I actually spoke with Lyle about, and he was like, "How's this guy always in the right place at the right time? He
Yeah,
can have a shot. It comes off the bar. Who's there? Haaland
yeah,
there to tap it in." It's like he doesn't score beautiful goals, but he just knows how to score goals, and
yeah,
I think that is
yeah,
trained. It's maybe there's a part of it that's just innate that you just gravitate towards where you think is the best position on the field. But I think it's trained. I think, and
Mm.
there's always this debate between beautiful football versus efficient football.
Yes.
Take Messi and
Yes.
Ronaldo. Messi, gracious, he weaves through players. It's almost an art to it. Ronaldo,
Mm.
determined, hardworking. He shows exactly. He's lethal.
Yeah.
He's like elite in everything
Yeah.
that he does. So I don't think anyone can do what Haaland does. So Haaland almost like a regen to Ronaldo in
Yes.
being that good at this particular mold. So yeah,
Yes.
I disagree with that opinion. You?
I can't. No, I just think I hate it when people call him a tap-in merchant because if it's so simple, why has nobody done it? Right? So like he's just broken a record now. I think what is it? The most goals in since the Premier League has held its name. If it's everyone's like, oh yeah, he just taps goals in, or that time he scored 5 goals, and I saw all 5 goals, and to be
Yeah.
fair, all 5 of them were like pretty like straightforward
Messi
goals.
dirty,
But
yeah.
you can't call him a tap-in merchant because why is no one doing it? Why? Like Anthony Martial has scored 9 goals since 2021, 22. So why are you telling me if it's so easy, why has nobody done it? I strongly disagree
Fact.
with it. I think
Fact.
people are just mad at actually at the impact that he's had. I just
Mm,
think that it's difficult as any rival fan to see him doing what he's doing, and that's where the sourness comes in. To be honest with you.
100%. 100%.
Okay, next one. Eden Hazard was the best winger the Premier League has ever seen.
Oh, that man was
Prime
electrifying.
Hazard.
I'm not gonna lie. Hazard was electrifying. That man could just pick a game out of thin air and go and win Chelsea things, bro. The guy was incredible.
But best
Best
winger
winger
ever?
ever.
What about Salah in his prime?
That's the thing. Salah's, and I can't. He has his antics, but Salah has also been class, like
Yeah.
longevity. He's done very well. I think probably put them on equal pegging then. So him and Salah will
Okay.
probably be the best wingers I've seen personally.
Okay.
You rate Eden?
Um, I rated him highly, especially when he had I think 1 or 2 seasons where he was exceptional just before he went to Madrid and he got injured
Mm.
and everything. But I don't know if I could say the best ever. I think Salah is probably the best winger that the Premier League has ever seen. It just in
Close
terms of
second, third.
consistency.
Who else
Sorry?
makes up that top three? Second, third.
I would say probably Salah. I would say Hazard is up there. Sure. I don't know who I would give third. Bukayo Saka. No, I'm joking. He's got a while. He's got a minute to go. I'd actually say I don't know. Maybe it's difficult for me to think now because I don't really know the old ballers so well. It's difficult to look at Iron Robin, but he made his career at Bayern Munich, so it's not really the same.
You gonna put
Sterling, I
CR7 up
think.
there?
Uh, yeah, maybe. I think a lot of his legacy got tarnished with that move here, but yeah, I think people forget that Ronaldo was there. So you top
Mm.
three?
I think I've put Ronaldo there. Eh? Ronaldo
Yeah,
pre
fair.
Madrid was a exceptional winger. Like it
That
was
season
damage.
with Rooney and Tevez, yo, that was a season,
That's
man. That
damage.
was a
And yeah,
season.
like you said, shout for Sterling, bruh. People like to say he's a tap-in merchant, but again, who was doing those numbers,
He's
boy?
been doing
You
it.
need to be
He's
in the
been doing
position
it.
to score that goals.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I
credit
think
there.
there is a shout for Sterling through Liverpool, City. It's not his
Yeah,
fault. Chelsea is
Chelsea.
what they are, but through Liverpool and City, he played a very good,
Mhm.
had a very big career, I would say. Okay, next one. Messi's return to Barcelona will be a bad move for Barcelona.
Yeah, as hard as it is to admit that, I do think so because then you're getting reliance on one person again, and they've
Yeah,
just made that clean break and trying to get a lot of the academy products and the youngsters up and running. Like if Messi comes back, guys like Ansu Fati, they get overshadowed heavily, and this guy was supposed to be the next big thing, the next
he might
generational
be
talent.
leaving to
That's
Wolves, but yeah.
look there, look at that.
But also like Dembele and Rafinha and like all those
You're
guys. I
just
kind of feel
never gonna
like
get game.
what just happened with Ronaldo? I think you just move on. And also, when you hear that a lot of players have to take salary cuts and stuff, I'd be min if I was a
Mm.
Barcelona player and you're telling me I must take a salary cut. So yeah, nah. I think to be honest with you, it will be a mistake for Messi to go back to Ronaldo. Okay, so next one. I can't deal with this one. Jamie Vardy is more of a Premier League legend than Drogba or Kane. Even just Drogba, is he more of a legend than Drogba?
He's overlooked. He's overlooked, but not more of a legend. I guess it
Definitely
depends who
not
you
Kane,
ask.
because Kane is
Now,
like
Kane is
Kane has
what,
broken records now, so
second in all-time
he's
goal scorers list
yeah,
for the Prem?
yeah. I mean, he hasn't won anything, but and that becomes funnier
That's
every year. But
I
but
I think
Drogba,
impact that he's had at Leicester solely joining the 100 club, Premier League goals, record goal scorer for that run that they had in that Leicester season. I think 17 games in a row that
yeah,
he scored. Bigger than Drogba. Ah. See, because I'm trying to look at this objectively when you look at Leicester versus Chelsea. It's like if
yes,
he was
okay,
playing at a Chelsea, would he be as prolific?
yeah,
And
yeah.
vice versa. If Drogba's at Leicester, is he gonna be the hero and the legend that
I don't know. I
is?
just loved watching Drogba play, you know. So
Yeah.
like,
Nah, African man's gonna say pause. No, he's not
yeah, yeah.
bigger than Drogba. But he's really good, like underrated.
It is. It is for
So
sure. For sure.
underrated.
I agree. I think because his story is so like unique, where he peaked at such a late age. You know, I think
Yeah.
it's quite. Um, so yeah, no, but I still say Drogba is more. Okay, next one. Since its introduction, VAR has done more good than bad for football.
Ugh. Application wise,
Yes,
no. No. I'm gonna say no.
but the
Because
what it
it's an
is,
interpretation. I guess maybe that's human error. But
yeah,
it seems like nothing is painted with the same brush. There is no
yeah, yeah,
commonality. There's no
consistency or anything
consistency
like
that
that.
comes with
Like,
VAR. So I'm gonna say no.
I think, to
You?
be honest with you, I think it's brought a lot of good to football. What I don't like, what I've noticed a lot of referees have started doing is that they've started not making calls, especially penalty shots. They're not making calls in the hope that VAR will pull them back. And that's not what it's supposed to
Mm.
be. It's supposed to be that you make the call and then VAR will tell you if there's a clear and obvious error. But I don't like that a lot of refs are refusing to make the call at all, waiting for
Exactly.
VAR to bring it back. For offsides, VAR has been good, I think. It's done a
Mm.
lot. Sometimes it's a little bit nitpicky, but I guess if you're offside, you're offside, so I suppose, right? You can't have goal line technology that works in millimeters and then not have offsides that works similarly, if you know what I'm saying. Like,
True.
they've also changed it now that you're only they measure from the goal scoring part of your body. So if your hand is
Ah.
offside, they don't give your fingertip. They
Back.
give your shoulder. They draw the line from your
Ah.
shoulder.
Okay.
So I quite like that. I do think that they're trying to make it work. And what I'd like to see, this isn't related, but what I'd like to see, I don't know if you saw on Instagram, they mic'd up one of the French referees for a match
Mm-hmm.
to hear what he was saying. It's really
Yeah.
cool. Like you hear him talking to the players and stuff. I'd like to see that more. And number two, this thing of referees not answering questions needs to stop. We need to have post match press conferences with the referees as well. Like, this thing of them being, and I think Howard Webb is starting to talk about doing this, because this thing
Yeah.
of them not having to answer any questions and Pogmol just defending them, it's the biggest load of rubbish. All these players have to answer questions and the manager has to answer questions. The ref should answer questions, right? Like, I really do. In basketball, for example, there's a lot of transparency. The
Mm.
refs come to the screen and then they explain a call
Okay.
that they made if there's like a contentious call, right? And I really think that needs to change. I really do think refs need to have some more accountability, especially like in these VAR scenarios. I see what they've started doing now is they have an expert referee that comes on, and then if there was a contentious call, like in the Newcastle game where Kivior, they gave a handball, and then the VAR overturned it.
Mm.
And they had in the studio was Alan Shearer and Ian Wright, which was
Okay.
very clever of Sky Sports to have those two people there.
Yeah.
And Alan Shearer was angry and he was saying, no, like, how that's definite. I can't say that it's hit his thigh. It should be a handball. And Ian Wright's like, it's definitely hit. And then they have a ref that comes up and they're like, okay, can you explain to us why you think the ref made this decision? And I think that's pretty cool. But now I actually want to hear the refs talking. I think that'll be good.
That's true because you must back
Okay.
your decision.
Yeah, you must. You
Mm.
must explain it. If you made the decision, you must explain it. Okay, last one. The 2014 World Cup was the best World Cup of all time.
Nah. Nah, 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 nah,
2014
nah,
was
nah, nah,
Brazil,
nah, nah,
right?
nah, nah. Yeah, it was great. It was joyous, but 2010 for me comes up in there, and this
Because
last
we were
World Cup,
there.
mad. This last
Yeah,
World
this
Cup
last
was
one was crazy. Yeah.
madness, and I think,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna have to say 2018, then 2010. 2010 was
Okay.
sure levels.
Yeah,
But this
yeah.
this
I
last World
think
Cup, I don't think you can ever trump it. Like you had
in terms of
upsets, you
results
had
and
results, you had a completely different atmosphere for the World Cup. I think
yeah,
being in a
yeah,
space where you're there for the football. I'm not there to have beers with my mates, get sloshed, and there's football on the side. I'm here for
yeah.
football. I'm here to be immersed in football. And I think you have to give it credit. Plus that final was just nothing you'll ever see again. So
Sports washing
2018, bro.
successful.
Ooh,
Clearly,
well done.
clearly,
I'm convinced.
clearly the sports wash was successful because we only speak about. We stop talking about. Notice people start talking about the human rights things associated to it, and all we're
Mm.
talking about is it was a success. Okay. So fair enough. I like those unpopular football opinions. I think it's a nice like place to start wrapping up the episode. If you're still with us, drop a like, a subscribe, all those things. That'll be nice. So I've been doing Italian lessons. Um,
Ciao.
yeah, ciao, buonasera, buongiorno. I speak Italian.
Buongiorno, sir.
I came across a little wholesome. It was actually on Instagram where I saw it,
Uh-huh.
and these are Italian concepts that. So they're like, I guess, anecdotes or idioms or whatever you want to call them. That I thought were really wholesome and really nice. So I thought we would go through some of them. So the first one, it's actually something I've spoken about with my tutor. The first one. So what I'll do is I'll say what the phrase is, I'll tell you what the lesson is, and I'll just run through them quickly, okay?
Okay.
So the first one, il dolce far niente, means the sweetness of doing nothing. And the lesson is master the art of enjoying the moment without the need to be productive or busy. We need to take time to recharge. The
Mm.
sweetness of doing nothing.
You don't do a
Yeah,
lot of that at all these days, man.
for
Everything
sure.
is,
The
yeah.
second one, festina lente, make haste slowly. The lesson is it's better to take small, measured steps in the right direction than fast leaps in the wrong direction. Set small, short term goals. Don't try to accomplish everything all at once.
Damn.
Beautiful.
Coming for
I quite
next
like
year,
that
man.
one.
Mm.
Yeah, I quite like that one. Uh, Lupus in Fabula, the wolf in the fairy tale. And the lesson is there's always an unexpected obstacle around the corner, and you should always plan for risk, especially when things are too good to be true. Quite
Yeah,
like
I
that
see
one.
that. You can get caught up.
Yeah. And then the last one that I wanted to do was sprezzatura, which says making something look effortless. Try to cultivate a sense of ease in everything you do, even when facing challenges. Quiet confidence is highly alluring. Sprezzatura.
Mm. Mm. That is, there's
Yeah.
a lot of truth to that. And people are just like,
Oh, actually, I found one more. I found one more. This
mm.
one's nice. Okay, it's quite long, so please do forgive my pronunciation. That's good practice for me. I'll tell my tutor tomorrow.
See, you even got the hands going there.
You need it, cuz. Ani amori I bicchieri di vino non si contano mai. Years, lovers, and glasses of wine. These should never be counted. Age is just a number. You are never too old to reinvent yourself. Life is short and must be lived to its fullest. Cherish and celebrate the most enjoyable moments.
Mm.
Years, lovers, and
Mm.
glasses of wine
Mm.
should
Mm.
never be counted.
Damn, I need a t-shirt of that and put it in the house like the
Hey.
live, life, love. Laugh, life, love,
Oh,
love. But with
I
this.
don't vibe with those things.
I hate that thing.
I
This
hope you don't
is a
have one in your
suitable
house, Tev.
replacement. No, fortunately not.
Yeah.
Fortunately not. No.
But yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it there. If anybody has any other little idioms we need to know about, but yeah, remember guys, take it easy. Don't what is it? Don't count your years, lovers, or glasses of wine. Always remember the wolf in the fairy tale. Make
Mm-hmm.
haste slowly. I love that one. And remember the sweetness of doing nothing.
Love that. Love that. I don't think we could have
Love
finished
that.
on a better note, man. Tyler said it all. Enjoy it, boys and girls. And yeah, honestly, just give yourself some credit, man. Take it easy on yourself.
Yep.
You're really doing a great job. There's only one
You're
of
vibing
one
with us.
for you.
You're
Can't
vibing
get
with
any
us.
better,
Great
man.
job
Can't
already.
get any better.
We'll catch up with you guys next week.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye
Bye.
bye.